Hey y'all, it's been a minute. It's been a long time, but I have been summer busy. But I'm back. I'm back, and I have tons and tons of updates for you guys. But I'm gonna try and do like multiple little small sessions so I can get the content in to share all the information that I've learned for the past months. I think I've been away for 2 months. So I'm going to separate those and hopefully they'll be resourceful for you just as they were for me. But if you are listening for the first time, my name is Tara Donnelly, founder of Dreams Inspire Reality and Darling & Co. And I'm your host. And I want to where should I start? It's been so long. Okay. So you guys know, probably the last episode, we talked about the Pick My Brain tour. And so we kicked that off and lasted for about a month. And then I went on the road for two separate events. And so I've been just like nonstop traveling for the last 2 months. And every time I sat down to do a podcast episode, I'm like, I'm going to record one while the content is still fresh. And then life happens. And so I am making a commitment to make sure I dive back in and give you guys all the resource. If you're in our Facebook group, Dreams Inspire Reality group, you've still been connected to me. I've been pouring out to you guys in the group more so. And if you have our brand new app, Dreams Inspire Reality app, you also get updates. So make sure if you aren't connected with us through those um, two things, then you need to download our app today on your store, your app store. You can download our app, Dreams Inspire Reality, or join our Facebook group, our private Facebook group, and there you can be connected with the community and still be engaged if you're just listening to the podcast. So let's start. First, let's talk about the Pick My Brain tour, how it was, all that good stuff, all our speakers, our sponsors. And so the Pick My Brain tour was birthed from the idea from my Pick My Brain card deck that we launched about 2 months ago. And that concept came a month prior to that, where I kept hearing the term, can't pick my brain, got to pay, and all those things. And rightfully so for some people. Once you accumulate a lot of knowledge, you just don't have the time really as much as you would like to, even to pour back into others without you perhaps wanting to put a price tag to that. And so that's understandable. But I wanted to create a card deck where it just had basic information for anyone looking to start a business. Because those are the questions I get mostly, just questions that are basic. And even though you can Google some of the questions, people just like having the answers coming from someone that has done it before. And I get that. And so I just put most of the basic stuff that I've used to start my businesses in a flashcard deck in a creative way and decided to launch a tour to go with that. And so we've been doing the tour for for the past 2 months. We've done the tour. So we did North Carolina, we did Atlanta, we did Baltimore, and our last stop will be in October, which will be New York. So I will be in New York for our last stop, and you can check that out on Eventbrite. I think we have a few tickets left for that. So we did that. We had some amazing guests come out on each stop. Some amazing dope friends came out, and definitely we'll give them a shout out. So we had Brick Rose Exchange with Bianca Jackson, and so definitely check them out. They're in Baltimore. They have a workplace space, co-working. We call it co-working place. But she has, her space is so dope. You can hold events there. So if you have a workshop coming up, if you have any type of event, their space is able to do that. It's Black owned, woman owned. So definitely support them. They sponsored our Baltimore stop and provided the space for our session there. So that was super dope. Bianca's in our community. So shout out to Bianca and thank you for that. Then we have in Atlanta, want to shout out our speakers, Pamela Booker from Cause by Nature, and we also had Audrey Richmond from Uncloned Marketing, who is super dope. If you're not following these two ladies, definitely go and follow them. They're super dope, super talented. So thank thank them for coming out on our tour and just pouring into our audience. Our audience in Atlanta was super dope, and it was like all the stops were like really like a private kind of session, pick my brain session, and it was just so dope for anyone that came out. They were well fed. They were well fed with a lot of knowledge and equipped to go out and just like really push their dreams into action. In Greensboro, which we had our North Carolina stop, we had we had Nisha Boston from Babs Beauty, um, who did an excellent job on our panel for brick and mortar stores. And then we also had Victoria Lynn from Cream and Cocoa Skincare, who also did an amazing job on our panel. So shout out to all those dope ladies that just took the time out to come out and support us. That when I say it was really a fantastic time for all the stops, it was just really a fantastic time to just meet you guys in person and just being able to hug you, shake your hand, talk to you, and pour into you and just have real conversation. Like there was no fluff. A lot of people were surprised that there was nothing being sold to them at the event. Literally, I was able to, our consulting firm was able to sponsor the entire tour. And so there was nothing being sold to you. There was no upsell at the end. And so it just allowed people to just relax and really learn and ask questions that they felt like they couldn't ask outside of that space, to people who've done it before. And so that was the entire purpose of the conference. And it was just really, really amazing, for me and for those who attended too. That was the feedback we got. So I'm excited about our last stop in New York, which is where I'm from. So I'm going back home to New York, to knock that out, and I'm excited about that. And that New York stop was sponsored by a college, so they're sponsoring that entire stop, and it's really geared towards the college students that will be coming out. But we have a lot of a lot of you guys already signed up and are coming out, so I'm excited to meet you guys in New York. So if you know anyone in New York, make sure you let them know to come out to the event. It's going to be an amazing event, for them to come out. And we also have tons of amazing things that's coming up with, just that card. Like the opportunities that are coming from that card is amazing, and I'm excited for that. And it just goes to show, like, if you have an idea, like literally I always say that, just execute it. Like if it fails, it fails. And if it doesn't, you pivot from that. Either way, you will pivot from that. But if I had just kept this idea in my head, then we wouldn't have had that tour. We wouldn't have had these amazing ideas coming up. So don't waste time, guys. Like, put your dreams in action and let's go. Thank you for joining me on this podcast episode. And on the next episode, I will be telling you all about my trip to Amazon, and how they flew me out and what happened on this magical little getaway. It was a business trip, but it was a little getaway. What happened and what I learned, and my take backs and feedbacks, so you guys can implement those too. And I'll see you next time. You don't want to miss that episode. Bye.